And we're live. Good evening. My name is Max Solo. I'm a builder here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And today we're in a warehouse, UMI warehouse. They sell stone slabs. And my guest today is Tiffany Hassa. She's an account manager at UMI. And Tiffany, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys do, who you are? Here at UMI?
Absolutely. So UMI is a very well-known distributor here on the East Coast. We've been operating in this area for decades. And, we're really proud to be able to be in this market. As you know, it's booming right now. So we're positioned really, really well. I'm the account manager. You'll find me in the greater Charlotte area, but I also have the South Carolina coast.
Okay. So I see you guys have a lot of slabs here.
Yes.
Let's say, and yes, construction is booming in Charlotte. A lot of slabs getting installed left and right. What I wanted to ask you is, let's say I'm a new customer and I'm recommended to come visit you guys. What usually happens on a site visit?
When a customer comes shop with us?
Let's say I'm me as a builder.
Yeah.
Hey, go see Tiffany at UMI. What do they expect? What should they expect? How does the visit go when they show up here?
Well, first and foremost, they're going to get the best in service. So whenever they come, we're going to do our best to try to prepare for that visit. So we're going to request, if we have a relationship already with the builder or the designer, whoever's coming in, not that you need an appointment, but it better helps us prepare for your visit. For example, if I know you're looking for a certain material, we can go ahead and know what materials to show you prior to. But of course, if you don't have an appointment, that's fine. But whenever a homeowner comes in, one of the things that I always recommend for them to do is to bring as much with them as possible. That could be samples for their flooring, for their paint, for their cabinets. And that really helps us guide the process and make the recommendations for them. Oftentimes, consumers they're very well versed nowadays in what they're looking for because they spent so much time and poring over Pinterest trends and, kind of identifying the things that are like what they're looking for. But ultimately, they don't really know because there's so many locations with so many options. And so we really do our best to try to help narrow down the selection by asking a lot of great questions, such as, again, what are the finishes in your space? So they come in, they meet with our customer service representative, and then they get the guided tour and experience where they get to hopefully make the selection of their choice whenever they're visiting us. And then from that experience, our goal is to make sure that they've found everything that they're looking for. And, we're not always going to have everything on site. So we have an amazing live inventory that we can also co-browse with them to help them shop from that platform. And then, of course, once everything is said and done, we'll send the selections to their fabricator, whoever's fabricating for them. And then hopefully we get the ball rolling and the fabricator brings the material in.
All right. So we make it an easy process.
Yes.
We come in, you take care of us, and make the selections, and off the slabs go to the fabricator.
Yeah. And oftentimes what a lot of homeowners will feel is like a sense of overwhelm because there are so many places that you can shop and there's so many different things that you do whenever you go to each place. Like in a general sense, you would expect that, you go, and what I've just laid out is the typical experience is going to be basically the same thing every place that you go to. But some places, they're different, right? Like some places might just let you kind of wander and do your own thing.
Customer service.
Well, and we found that there's a lot of questions that come up, like what's better in performance, this versus that. And it's oftentimes not even this material versus that material. Sometimes it's that quartzite versus this quartzite.
So you guys stand apart by offering that exceptional service.
Yeah, I do think that we really we embrace the burden of education when homeowners come in a way where they don't feel this pressure to know everything before they come in.
Yeah, I find that very important. Just not knowing, like, hey, how's this gonna last in my kitchen?
Yeah. Like,
should I put expensive marble in my kitchen, and where it could get scratched up or stained?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that, even if they think they know it.
Yeah.
So you said you have plenty of selection in the warehouse, also big online selection as well.
Yes.
That you can browse through?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you guys source your materials from?
Great question. So all over the globe. We've been actually purchasing from the same quarries that we've had these relationships with for literal decades. And so, oftentimes the material that we're bringing in, it's going to be consistent because we're bringing it in on containers and we're distributing it between this location and all of our other locations. And so whenever people come to shop with UMI, what they find is there's this sort of consistency across the board where you don't go to one location where there's better material versus that location, which is, I think, really, really special.
Okay. I also wanted to talk to you about like different material types, marble, quartz, porcelain countertops, or slabs. What do you guys offer, and maybe a little description of the differences in the materials?
Sure. So, I love this question because, it really opens me up. So I don't know how much time we have to talk about this. But, I think, again, back to the educational piece, there's so much to know about each one of those materials. But in a nutshell, we have natural stone, and that's everything from granites, marbles, quartzites, soapstones, and some uncommon ones that you're not possibly used to seeing on the market, like precious stone. So, and then there's also quartz. So we represent at UMI InvisaCook is our brand. And it'll be called and labeled a couple of different things as you go through our territory, but essentially it's the same thing. And then we also have Infinity Porcelain. And Infinity Porcelain is really special because we're seeing this big trend right now in the market for porcelain, just because its superior resistance qualities.
Okay, what is Infinity Stone?
Infinity is the brand.
Okay.
Yep. So Infinity is the brand. So it's made in Italy, and it's our large format porcelain slabs. So those are 126 by 63. So they're massive.
That's pretty big.
It's huge. Yep. And it comes in all different thicknesses. Four actually right now that we offer, but it's a thin format for better application solution.
Okay. And so I guess since you're on the Infinity Stone, is that like the new driving trend? I did want to pick your brain about what is driving trend. Is Charlotte different from, let's say, Charleston and Hilton Head? What's driving the trend? The builders, the big box builders, the designers, the homeowners? I'm trying to understand how this industry meanders that.
I oftentimes question that myself. For example, I don't know if you've heard of Taj Mahal, but it's a quartzite that's extremely popular right now. And I don't know who wrote the rule book on what materials were popular, but all of a sudden, Taj Mahal has really hit its boom. And I find that that's consistent as I've gone through all my different areas and territories. But I think to answer your question, homeowners are coming in and they're making the selections, or they're sending someone on their behalf, like a designer is making a selection for them, and the homeowner is just kind of blindly trusting the selection process. But what I'm finding is that in this market specifically, homeowners, they have no fear, and I think that that's instilled by the fabricator that they're working with, or the designer, or the builder. And it's kind of this go find it feel, where they just go out into the market and they shop all these different places, and that can sometimes feel very overwhelming for them. So but in the Charleston market, it's different. In the Charleston market, yes, homeowners, they still go out and they do the shopping, but generally speaking, it is the designer that drives the initial specification. Like, they might say, go to this particular location to shop for this material. And I think that is not so much necessarily due to the material specifically that they have, but more the quality of the materials that they're bringing in.
Okay, so what do you mostly deal with, homeowners or designers? And
me specifically,
or you guys? Yeah.
So I'm a hybrid, so I call on all different areas of the trade. And so I would be calling on you as a builder, or architects, fabricators, obviously, designers, but really anybody that comes into the fold of the trades where stone touches. So it could be the cabinetry individual. It could also be, believe it or not, like the poolscape individuals, because now we're seeing porcelain, for example, going inside pools. So yeah.
Wow. Well, that leads to the next question. What are other uses for stone slabs other than countertops?
Yeah.
I've done some interesting projects where, we've done cubes and walls, backsplashes, obviously countertops. What else could we use this product for?
Well, it depends on the material that we're talking about. But, since we're on the topic of porcelain, I, just to be completely honest, was not the biggest fan of porcelain when it initially came out on the market because honestly, it was so new. I didn't really understand all of its versatilities and the reasons why. But now having known it and also representing a brand that's superior, it is the solution for everything. You can use it for countertops. You can put it on the floor. You can put it on the walls. You can put on ceilings, showers, exterior cladding. I mean, it's used in commercial spaces because of its resistance. Yes. Yeah.
So before we get to porcelain, I do want to talk about porcelain. Any interesting trends that are going on right now?
Well,
not just colors,
yeah.
but design. Like, what's hot right now? What's everybody doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of green actually, like the one that's actually behind you, Emerald Quartz. It's I'm seeing a big trend right now for this Quartzite and greens. Greens are just really.
And where are they sticking this stuff? Countertops?
Countertops, yeah.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
nobody's going crazy and...
I mean, you can find a lot of really interesting things. I think that's one of the things I love the most about this industry is there's always like this level of creativity.
People get creative.
Yes, I've got a lot of partners here locally and also in the Charleston market that I always see them pushing the boundaries of what you think can be done with stone.
Yeah. I just saw a guy, he created a sink out of a porcelain slab on site.
Integrated sinks, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
that's a big deal right now.
Really? Like he built it on site. I thought that's something you build in a shop.
Yeah.
And he did an excellent job. So going back to porcelain, I know it's man-made.
Yes.
What are the benefits of a porcelain slab?
Yeah, it's a sintered stone. So it was born in heat. And so because of that, you can put it in places where typically you really wouldn't want to let heat be something that could affect your countertops, which leads me into also like a two-way answer to your question about trends. So porcelain, one of the trends that I'm seeing right now that I don't know if you've seen is InvisaCook. Like the InvisaCook technology. So porcelain has been really championing this movement of InvisaCook where we're cooking directly on the countertops.
InvisaCook.
Using induction technology, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you really don't even have a need, like it's amazing. Like you don't need
It's kind of like the wireless, they stick these wireless chargers underneath.
Exactly like
you can just place your phone on there.
Exactly.
And now you can cook on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so for homeowners who are looking for like that ultra sleek look where they don't have all of these like things invading the visual, essence of what they're trying to create in that space, like you can clad, your anything really. So in theory, you could walk into a space and have the countertops, the floor, the walls, the cabinet faces, the fridge facing, everything done in porcelain.
Yeah. Very stable material.
Extremely stable.
Expand or contract
No,
much.
it doesn't.
Very dense.
Yes, and so you're going to see a lot of this material being put in places where, again, you really want to put
anywhere.
Materials, right? So outside is great because it's UV protected, so you don't have any issues with it fading over time. It's scratch resistant.
Yeah, I was going to say, does it scratch easily?
No, it does not. No, and so oftentimes I'll have homeowners that are asking me questions about porcelain, and porcelain is an endeavor. For sure, but it's worth it in the long run. I try not to use this analogy often because it feels like taboo, but I always say that if a house goes through a house fire, it'll be the last thing standing or in the dust.
Yeah, that is kind of taboo. But hey, if you have to say it, you have to say it. So, sounds like you educate the customers a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really good. People need to know.
Well, but it's difficult, right? You have to tread the line of over-educating because sometimes this experience can feel extremely overwhelming for them. Yeah. So you have to really read the room, and if they're interested and they engage, you have to do what you have to do as a professional.
Yeah. So another thing that's been bothering me, I go to these massive builder shows once a year.
They're so fun.
Yeah, they're very fun. I highly recommend homeowners, if you're thinking of building a home, go. All these new products, technology.
What's your favorite show?
My favorite one is the biggest one in Vegas every year, the International Builder Show. Very massive. I think it's like 200,000 square feet, if not more.
Yeah.
Of just booths of anything and everything where you can. It's like a big showroom where you can touch, play, everything's live. Instead of looking on the screen, you know, you can feel it. The reps are there. You can pick their brains. Like, hey, how does this? Is this maintenance free, or how long is it gonna last? So part of the show, I see a lot of slabs, and I'm just wondering, like, what are these guys doing here? Like, what is that? Is that new technologies, new colors, like? Why are they showing up? Why are they spending so much money? Because these slabs are so heavy.
Yeah.
And the showrooms are beautiful. And I recently started walking through them. I'm like, what is this? You know, what's that all about? You know, besides all the builder stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so it's everything that you just said it was. It's an opportunity for them to get their product in front of people, or the trend in front of people, or the reason why they're the top in the opportunities for someone who's looking for someone that, you know, imports material. And so what you're going to see whenever you go to those shows is traditionally it's going to be things where we're showing off. Like, it's our opportunity to really show, you know, what we bring to the table. And so you're going to see the best of the best at these shows.
So is it like 2026 products coming soon?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm looking at when I'm browsing?
It could be. It could be. So oftentimes you'll see something like a new technology, or something like, for example, we just released something called K-Armor, which is Infinity's, it support our 6mm backer. And so it actually comes already on the slab. And the reason why we released this is because 6mm is ideal because it's so thin for wall applications, etc. It's easy to schluter. But the issue is that sometimes 6mm, just because it's so thin, you do have a higher likelihood of something going wrong, breaking.
Oh, there, we always snap a slab.
Yes. And so that little 2mm backer that already comes on the slabs is so like impactful. And now our ability to maneuver and work with these materials and not have the same issues like on the forefront of our mind. So that's something, for example, that you would have seen at a show, which we actually just recently started bringing into our locations and facilities for the public.
So what questions should I be asking them? Like, what am I looking at? Like, well, you know, what is it? What's new, right?
Yeah, I absolutely.
That's the main question.
Asking what's new, asking why you.
Yeah. I didn't know about that 6mm backer, the K-Armor.
Oh my gosh.
That's every project we snap a slab.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I know. So if you can get away with that with the K-Armor, why not? And I guess if I would have asked that question, I would have known. Yeah,
well, you know, everybody has their own thing. Like, some places there's like backers that you can buy where you can put it on the material, but it's just another step in the process. And so this, you know, again, it offers a solution where it feels a little bit more turnkey.
Yeah. So what are some of Tiffany's selections?
Tiffany's selections? You're asking for my biased opinion? Yeah, that's trouble. So I'm a natural stone girl at heart. I've been in this industry now over a decade. I really, really love it. I think that this is what my calling is. I'll probably be doing this. You'll have to drag me to my coffin, my crystal coffin.
We'll build your coffin out of some slabs.
Yes, I've already earmarked the one that I want.
Right.
That's morbid, but yeah. So my favorite material is probably gonna be Cristallo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a clear, translucent material. You can backlight it.
Okay.
And it looks like
your coffin gonna be backlit?
Yes, my headstone. Yeah.
Okay.
It's already been self-proclaimed. I've already said it out loud to multiple people, so it's happening.
All right. So Cristallo.
Yeah, Cristallo. And this is a big trend as well. Again, it's a quartzite. And quartzites right now are on the market as a natural stone solution that is going to be highly resistant to a lot of things. Like, you can actually put quartzites, for example, in places you wouldn't really want to put granites, I'll actually say, like, quartz, for example. Quartz is ideal for inside, as we know, but it is not UV resistant. So it's not something that you would want to put outside.
Yeah. So you're a Cristallo girl.
Big time.
All right. So if you were to build a house, it'd be all Cristallo, or are there any backups?
It would be a mix. Like, again, the thing that's behind you, so that's emerald quartz. So anything that's of the essence of that is...
Do you think that's going to go out of style in 26? No? It's here to stay?
Yes.
I
Yep.
thought Baltic brown was hot back in 2008.
Now it's essentially obsolete. Yeah, you can't even. It's
And
interesting.
Tuba, is that even around?
You know what's funny about that is someone reached out to me, and it's also who it came from, the request of who it came from. It really cracked me up. I was like, I read it, and I was like, is that a typo?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure that that's what you're asking about? Because these are not materials we see anymore.
Yeah.
And even like the level 1 replacement, if you will, the level 1 materials that are going into builders' homes and even the flips, right? It used to be Baltics and Santa Cecilia, but now it's quartz.
So builder grades all quartz?
Yeah.
Venetino, or which one? What are you selling to builders? Builder grade.
Builder grade naturals or quartz, do you mean?
I want to say quartz. I think you're right. Most builders, they're not too much natural. Mostly quartz.
Right.
It's
Well,
maintenance free almost.
yes. And so for you as a builder, talk to me a little bit about like where your head is at whenever you have an opportunity to have a say in the material that goes into your home. Like, let's say you're building out a spec, like what's going through your mind in terms of the material, or do you not care? You're just like, listen, I just need the material. I need it to perform. I need it by this date, and I need it at this price.
I have a range of builds. Sometimes I try not to do builder grade homes. I call them builder grade plus because of my years of experience. Even my builder grade homes are very solid, and I can't cut any corners. But you know, if I'm building builder grade because the area is asking for it.
Sure.
You know, I can't do anything custom in that area, and I've bought the lot because I need to keep going and building. So yes, I do. I mostly ask my fabricator, what are you doing right now? What's hot right now? Lately it's been Venetino.
Venetino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I defer to him. But then the custom builds, we have a designer I work with, and she usually specs everything out.
And what is she using to justify her specification? Is it usually like one brand, or is it what's hot, or is it a style?
She's got her own style, and I feel like she stays up to date with what's hot. She's very knowledgeable, very good. Our builds have been very excellent. I don't know how she does what she does, but she's gifted. Just like I can build a good home, she can design a good home.
Yeah.
And I
Tag
feel
team.
yeah, I think we're a pretty good team. So I'm curious what's hot,
Yeah.
you know, at the moment.
So I'll say that there's a big trend right now. I mean, quartz definitely still has its place in the market. You know, so InvisaCook Stone, the brand that I offer, we've got such a range of option. You know, we kind of saw this sort of period where quartz on the market looked like your standard, like, white rectangle with like 2 big bold gray veins going through it. And so we're seeing now a trend leaning more into the natural look that's not quite like that, again, that big aggressive bold vein. Now it's more soft, more muted veining. It's, you know, not the stark white background.
Now is the market driving that, or are there new printing machines that can come up with better designs? Like, what's driving that?
What the trend in the market?
Yeah, with the not so bold veins.
Yeah, I think that it's really just it's the consumers. The consumers are for sure driving it, and of course the designers are for sure driving that. Like, I can't tell you. So, and I'll just speak on personal experience, right? So I'll bring every so often a designer through here, or I'll work with a homeowner that is here that, you know, has asked to meet with me specifically because they were recommended by whomever to meet with me. So I'll go through, and there's this design that we have through InvisaCook Stone called Nuvolado. Nuvolado is stunning, and it really emulates like what we're seeing in, you know, in the trends, which is, again, the softer, more muted veins, something a little bit more visually interesting going on in the background, and a palette that plays well with both warm and cool, and it emulates a true like look of quartzite, interestingly enough. So a lot of times my conversations, and it's not me driving it, because at the end of the day, I like to leave my bias out of it, because I don't have to wake up to that countertop every single day. It has to be the owner choosing it. So I let them make the selection, but I can't tell you how many times we walk past it, we walk back to it, and that's where the conversation stops. They're like, yep, that's the one. So, and it's interesting because I'm not driving that. It's hard for me because I'm very opinionated, but I try to stay out of that as much as possible. So I have to say it's homeowners.
And then another question now, what's up with all these like, mostly in apartments, like the glass countertops or recycled glass? Do you guys do any of that? Or what
Oh, are you talking about like recycled glass?
Yeah. Most apartments, they have the quartz countertops with the little glass speckles or the little zero speckles. What is that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different lines that are offered. The Trazo, for example.
Is that like your VE countertop?
No, it's a whole other breed of opportunity for material type. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I don't really see that much in homeowners' homes. I see it more in
commercial and apartments.
Yeah, commercials.
Okay, so they're mostly buying that stuff.
Primarily, yeah.
I personally don't like it.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like a value engineered countertop material or just mass produced.
Yeah, well, and I think that's because we always see it in commercial spaces. So it translates, like if you see it in a home, it feels like, why is commercial material in a home? But, to each their own. I have homeowners that do still ask for that. And actually, so to that point, so UMI Stone, my quartz brand, we have a color called Vetro Blue. And it emulates, it looks just like that. And it's a solid blue background, like light blue backgrounds. And it's got these chunks of like blue in it. So it's really interesting. But, again, to the diverse piece of this, we're moving away from the standard white rectangle. So we have so many different options. It's not one standard, like look through the line.
Okay, so the future is exciting. Countertops and slabs.
Extremely, yes. And I think that's what really keeps me engaged is every time I turn around, I see something new. Yeah. Finishes, for example, or is something else like textures. Like we're seeing a lot now with textures.
Textures. What's going on with those? What are the hot new textures?
Hot new textures I'm seeing are like fluted. Fluted designs. And I'm also seeing people putting radiuses on their countertop, like so it used to be the trend was just a standard like waterfall, right? But now I'm seeing people doing like full blown like customizations where they're turning a radius on the corners, which you can't bend stone. So that the way that is fabricated takes such time and energy.
A lot of pieces.
It's basically thin strips. Cut at an angle and kind of
I've seen rounded showers.
So cool.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, I could talk for days. Like I've got a couple of people that I've got a camera roll just full of people that I like to brag on that I'm calling on. I'm like, yeah, look at this application. Like, and it really opens the mind to what the possibilities are.
So the honed and leathered, is that like old school now?
No, actually, it's still hot. I think it depends on the material, right? So there's a lot of place in the market for honed and leathered and polished. But what we're finding is, again, this more organic feel. So organic feels is exactly what you expect it to be. Leather textures is organic. Honed feels organic. Polish, not so much, but in the right place, with the right application, polish is ideal to one of those other two. And then you also have to look at the material type. There are some materials you just wouldn't want to leather because they wouldn't leather well.
Won't look as good.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No. This is awesome.
Yeah, it was. It's been great. And we can add your contact info in the video. Anything you want to add, like where they can reach you, or are you pretty good?
No, I think I'm pretty good. What was the surprise question?
Oh, your selections.
Oh, my selections. Yeah.
I wanted to. I wanted to surprise you with that. Like, what? So you didn't have a politically correct answer.
Yes.
So the Cristallo.
Yeah.
All right.
Cristallo. Was there anything else on that list that we didn't cover that you wanted to tap into?
We talk trends. I usually like to do crazy stories. If you have any crazy stories.
Crazy stories.
Like a container sinking in the sea or something. I mean, who knows? I don't know what kind of crazy stories you'd have here.
Well, actually, I think my very first position within the industry, I worked for a fabricator. So that's where I actually got my start. And this is going to date me a little bit, but I responded to a Craigslist ad for a position
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do. I was really looking for just a career change, but I wasn't really committed to anything in particular. So the role was actually the assistant to the CEO of a company. Now, I didn't know anything about stone at that point in time, specifically in this side of it, but I've actually been playing in the dirt. My family comes from miners, and so I've been sourcing stone since I was, yay high.
Nice.
So it feels very, natural for me to be in this industry now. But I would say, so crazy story is the owner, after I'd spent some time there, obviously acclimating to the stone industry, but this particular fabricator, I was working in the office, and there's this ominous boom sound that you hear, and everybody just like looks at each other, and it's like once you hear it, it never leaves you. You always know what it means. And everyone looks at each other, and we're just hoping and praying to God that the damage isn't too bad, because also the owner is out of the country at the time. He's on vacation. So we had a gentleman who was newer, and he apparently had backed his forklift into one of the A-frames that was in the back, and it was stock material. So it was some material that had been pre-selected for customers, but it was essentially material that we bought for us to show customers when they came to buy from us. And so he had backed into it, and it was the exotics side. And it was just A-frame after A-frame. It was like a domino effect. Boom, 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 boom. And the way that they cracked, it was almost like it made it essentially unusable. I think we had a couple pieces we could leave for like vanities and leftovers. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hazard in this particular story. Yeah. And then I found my way into distribution. And interestingly enough, I sort of wasn't really sure what avenue I wanted to go into. But whenever I actually came to this facility at the time, I didn't have an operations manager. So in this particular location that we're sitting in right now, at one point in time, I was the inside sales manager as well as the operations manager, in which I got my forklift certification. So if you can imagine me driving a forklift.
Driving these slabs around.
Yeah, loading trucks, offloading trucks. Yeah. It's been, I love it. There's really not much I wouldn't do.
From Craigslist to accounts manager.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, another question I missed that I wanted to ask. Let's say I'm a walk-in customer. Do you guys recommend fabricators? Say like, hey, I love this.
We're going to talk about controversial things today. This actually, yes. We do to an extent, but I have to keep the playing field very fair. So in terms of making a recommendation, we generally have a list of people that we will recommend.
Okay.
And then if they're looking for something very specific, so for example, because we've talked about porcelain is something that not everybody is fully on board and co-signs to fabricate. And it's understandable why. My opinion is that in time that opinion might change, just as, again, this trend sort of soars and they find that there's a need now to have the proper machinery and tooling and whatnot. If someone comes in and let's say that their solution that they find is this just a homeowner off the street doesn't know any fabricators. Hey, I'm interested in this porcelain. Who can you recommend? In this case, I have to find someone that is equipped and is comfortable and wants to cut porcelain.
So you'd point them in the right direction.
Yeah. Again, back to the burden of just educating the customer, making sure that they're in good hands. That is something that even though I'm not the person that's personally responsible for cutting their slabs, I want to make sure that they feel secure in their selection.
Mm-hmm. I've done this multiple times where I don't have contacts and I've got a complicated project. I go to suppliers like, hey, who can cut this?
Yeah.
Who can round my corners with marble and do it right?
Yeah.
Because not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys have those contacts. Like, hey, call ABC Countertops. They'll do it.
Well, again, there's multiple fabricators that I think are very, very talented in this area. So it makes it really hard to make a singular recommendation. And so I really
still have to.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I could, and let's say they give me shorter, smaller parameters to work with. For example, I live on this side of town. I don't want to travel, or I live on way over, like in a territory that's 3 hours away. I need a fabricator that's willing to make that hike because none of the fabricators in my area will do the job that I need to have done. So it really just kind of depends. But I really try to stay fair because at the end of the day, I have a great relationship with these fabricators. And, you know, it can get really hairy once you start making a recommendation for this one over the next.
Okay, well, good to know. Good to know. Tiffany, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
A lot of information.
Yeah. I look forward to obviously staying in my role. I'm not going anywhere for any duration of time. So I look forward to continuing to service this market, you know, and I'm very, very excited about what we're bringing.
Good. I like hearing that. I like people that have a drive and motivation to do what they do. I personally, growing up, construction was looked down upon.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's, you know, bottom of the barrel. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I make good money. It's always exciting, you know, meet new people, new places. And I like seeing that in other people. You're not just doing it for a paycheck.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to be able to work in a field where, you know, people generally, you know, whenever you hear construction, you don't think about the pretty side of things. Like usually you think about the dirt, you think about the grind, you think about the build, you know, but I think that I'm super fortunate that I am in an area, in a sector of this, you know, part of the process where, you know, we both get to fall in love with the material and fall in love with the vision. And yeah, I truly enjoy what I do.
I did have a question that just floated up that's been kind of bothering me.
Okay.
So Florida, one of my favorite states, the east coast of Florida, like zooming into Sunny Isles.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? They've got all these designer towers they're building.
Yeah.
I toured a bunch of them just to see what's going on. Like so much cool stuff going on in them. Very high end. Who designs and who drives those designs? They're completely different. They're so upscale, so expensive. Any ideas on that?
Totally. Yes. Architecture driven. Yes.
So whoever's designing the tower, they spec everything out.
Yeah. Oftentimes, you know, you'll see an opportunity to possibly VE one product for another, but, you know, generally from a more broad standpoint, usually the architect kind of goes in already with a concept and the stone is a part, it's an element of the design overall. And so, you know, to have a misstep on the stone could mean, you know, the vision of that project just doesn't execute the way that they expected it to. And so I find that architects have usually a very heavy say in the initial specification, and usually from the developer level, they're having those conversations with the designer that's on the project, with the developer, with the architect, and they're really driving that. But, you know, I love this area. I feel that Charlotte is kind of coming around. Of course, we're always a little bit late to the party when it comes to trends and modern trends at that. But we are seeing, again, some of those things like the InvisaCook with porcelain in general for countertop solutions. This was not a conversation.
Talked about InvisaCook?
We did briefly.
Okay, that's right. With the chargers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was off script or.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either.
Okay. All right. But yeah, no, whatever they got going on in Miami, Sunny Isles is very forward thinking, very nice. And Charlotte does need to step it up a little bit.
Well, we have some of the biggest architects in this area. Yeah, I mean, you've seen like Little Diversified, LS3P, you know, we've got really some really amazing architects here. And I think that, you know, if you go uptown, like you're already seeing some of these more modern trends sort of taking hold of the area, but it's more about like, again, it's a banker city, right? And so we have so many people coming in and they're bringing these trends and these ideas with them. So it's people from usually like up north in New York, where, you know, these are sort of like second nature to them. Like these more modern concepts is the obvious choice, right? Whereas here it's like, what are you talking about? Why would you do that?
I don't know if you've noticed all these modern houses popping up just recently.
Yeah.
We didn't have that many modern homes until like 5-10 years ago. It's the hot new thing now.
Well, it's coming around.
Yeah,
it's definitely coming around. But again, I really have to, you know, give all of the applause to the local area designers and the architects that are here also helping to drive that, because really it's really up to them, and the builder at the end of the day will have a certain style that they build. And so there are some builders who are more geared for the modern build, if you will, but it's a collaborative effort. But so you're seeing that as an effort of everybody that's coming together and saying, hey, look, this area there's gentrification everywhere. There's so many, potential available lots that are currently sitting with properties on them that are just not moving, or they're not in trend, or they're old because it's an older area. And so what we're seeing is now the polar opposite. People are like, I'm done with the traditional styles. You are definitely seeing that a lot right now.
All right, well, thank you for letting me into the UMI warehouse. Beautiful selection.
Thank you.
I guess that's it.
Yeah. I just wanted to say one last thing, that if somebody wants to shop right now for their home, they can go to UMI's website.
Okay.
That's umistone.com, and you can browse our live inventory, and you're going to see lot photos of each of the materials we have available. And that's for porcelain, for quartz, for natural stone. And then from there, you just have to find the closest location to you.
All right. Well, and we'll include most of that information in the description. And again, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise.